Circles are everywhere, and for this edition with the Math Jedi, we will be exploring the wonderful world of circles. Are you ready? Here we go. Circles, circles everywhere, which of course means we're going to be talking about pi, which is always going to be exciting. And here we go. So we're talking about circles today, and our focus is going to be the area of circles. So right away, let's get to the formula. Boom, because that is going to be pretty important. So the formula is pi r squared. I know pi's are round, but it's pi r squared. And a couple things. R, of course, is the radius. Pi, usually you'll either use 3.14, you'll use your button on your calculator, or you'll use the fraction version, which is 22/7. You really need to ask your teacher, because your answer will be a little bit different depending on what you use. And then we'll talk about this thing here. What does it mean to square something? So I'll just give you some examples. I'll give you the classic 3 squared. Now to square something, it just means to times itself by that many times. So this is 3 squared. So this just means I'm going to multiply 3 by itself twice. So it means 3 times 3, which is just going to be 9. Now you're probably wondering, of course, well, what's the common kid mistake? And I bet you can even guess it. I bet you can guess that the common kid mistake of 3 squared is thinking it means 3 times 2, which would be 6, but of course it does not equal 6. So please do be careful when using the radius. What is the radius, you ask, though? I've been saying it all this time. Well, let's go and draw a circle, because that is always super easy to do, isn't it? Now, whoa! I've got this little tool here that I think is going to draw me a circle. I think it is. I hope so. Did it draw me a circle? Whoa, look at this. It's drawing me a circle. This is awesome. This is like live right now that I'm actually doing this. And now I'll take that away, and look at that, I've got a perfect circle. I've never had a video with a perfect circle. I am so excited. Now, I've got a ruler here. Oh, this is getting better. Now, a radius, well, we'll talk about what the radius is in a second here. Here we go. So now I've got a line here. So I'm going to put a dot right in the middle. Let's just imagine this, the center of the circle is right here. Okay, this is going to be important. So this line is not the radius. What? But you just talked about it. This line is actually the diameter. You'll find formulas that say it's just d, the diameter. And it goes through the center of a circle. And what you need to know now, of course, is what's the radius? The radius is half the diameter, r, which stands for radius. So that's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. And we can go and figure out all sorts of things. And let's just go. Let's just imagine we had a circle here. I'm not gonna be really crazy. We have a circle here, and I'm just going to say the radius, boom, so there's just a little radius. You can see the big dot there, right? I'll say the radius is 5. So now I want to know what's the area. So the area of the circle, that equals pi r squared. And I'm going to say we're going to use, let's use 3.14. We'll do it all 3 ways. How about that? So let's go and replace some of our things with what we need to do. So I just said that we're going to use 3.14. So I'll use 3.14. I'll put the radius in here, which is 5. and I'll go and calculate that. So I have 3.14, and this is 5 squared, which means 25. And this is where if you have a calculator, your life would become so much more easier, and you would get 78.5. I forgot to write down the units, so I'm going to write down units squared. The second way to do it is to say, I'm not going to use 3.14. I'm going to use 22 over 7. So a fraction. So 22 over 7 times that 25. So it really depends on what your teacher will want. And if you did that, you would get a final answer of 550 over 7. And the third way, as I try and find space, how can I do the third way? Let's do the third way right here. Whoa, we're going inside the circle. Is to actually use the pi symbol. So if you actually use the pi symbol, so it would be pi times 5 squared, which is 25. So we would say the answer is 25 pi. You wouldn't go and calculate it. You would just leave it like that, 25 pi. Now that's the fancy way to do it. So calculating the area. Now you're thinking, that's not too bad. Let's go and get another circle. Let's make it a little bit smaller. I'm getting much better at going and using this. And I'm going to go, there we go. We're pretty good. And I'm just going to go and make it a little tricky. I'm going to go and shade this. So I'm shading the green. And I'm going to make sure, I'm making this super tricky. I'm going to just give you the diameter, and the diameter is going to be 30. And I'm going to say this, so here's my question. Find the area of the shaded region. Are you ready? Go. Okay, so we know the area of a circle is pi r squared. But they gave me the diameter. The diameter is equal to, different ways to think about it, times 2 radii. So in reality, if you just go d over 2, you divide the diameter by half, you get the radius. So I think we can go and do that. So what is 30 if I cut it in half? Well, that's going to be 15. Yay! So it makes us happy. So we now know what the radius is. That's exciting. So let's go and start plugging some stuff into our formula. And we're going to say I'm going to use 3.14. So I'm going to go and plug in 3.14. I've gone and I've calculated what the radius is. That's 15. I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator that happens to be right beside me. And I end up getting 3.14 times 225. So you can see why we have calculators now. And my answer, my final answer is 706.5. Or is it? Dun dun dun. So, the common kid mistake is to forget that we're looking at half a circle. So, what do you think, put your thinking caps on, what do I need to do with this number here? I need to, yes, you're right, divide by 2, because I'm taking half of the circle. So I'm going to go divide my answer, and my final answer is truly 353.25, and I'll say units squared. There's some circle area action for you. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks everybody for tuning in for a very circular discussion about circles. Until next time, have a great day. Go and subscribe or watch another video up there or over there. And go and just enjoy math. Thanks so much.